All right, CJ Watson, thank you for stopping through Dallas Wall Street.
Appreciate you for having me.
So, for the people that don't know who you are, you know what I'm saying, let them know who you are, where you're from.
CJ Watson, man, I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. Born and, raised there. Well, sorry, born there and raised in Dallas, Northeast.
Okay, so what brings you to Dallas? How did you get to Dallas from Oregon?
I got in some trouble when I was younger, to be honest. It's a long story, but I got into some trouble, and my mama wanted me to, get out of it. And then we ended up in, Dallas,
Yeah.
Cliff. They ended up in, the North and stuff like that. So I was still getting in trouble. But just smarter about it, different scenery, stuff like that. So more opportunities.
Okay, so about what age did you come to Dallas?
It was after my freshman year of high school, so about 15.
Okay, so you spent fairly half of your childhood.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So what's the differences between Oregon and Dallas that you feel?
Well, there's more black people in Dallas than there is. Up there it's more, it has a, strong California influence. It's more greener up there and stuff like that. It's hilly, it's pretty scenery and stuff. The vibe up there is to me, it's a lot slower, than it is here. It's a lot more stuff legal there than it is here.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. It's got a special place in my heart still. Dallas is just, it's a bigger city. It's more life, more history, more stuff to do. More of a hip hop scene here. It's home for me, and I love it. So,
So, where did your musical influence come from? Did it start in Oregon or when you got to Dallas?
Yeah, it started, in Portland, but I used to write music and stuff like that all the time, and just listening to music, East Coast rap, West Coast rap, stuff like that. So it kind of all just comes together, for me. I like to take a little bit from here, and there, and bring it all together, and to do me.
Yeah. So listening to your music, I hear like a lot of East Coast records, like the instrumentals, the vibes, and then some you throw in southern vibes. When you make your music, even though that your Portland is West Coast influenced, what makes you go towards East Coast sound? Or I understand the southern sound that you in Dallas, you know what I'm saying, that you
right.
South, but what draws you to the East Coast sound?
I like hip hop, okay, and to me, there's a difference between hip hop and rap. I like hip hop. I consider myself a hip hop purist, and so, hip hop started on the East Coast. Started in New York. So I like that. They're easier for me in my mind to kind of navigate, and how to break stuff down. I feel like I can do a lot more with them. I don't know. I like them, and also too, a lot of my producers are on the East Coast too.
Yeah.
So that that's a big influence there too. But I just like the sound better, and I still like my country rap tunes though, and I still like to get hyphy and stuff like that for the West Coast, but I do like the East Coast sound.
Okay, so what got you into music? Like what in Portland that made you be like?
I was always a writer, so it was easy to change from poetry or whatever into hip hop because you're really telling stories. Either way, if it's hip hop, poetry, whatever you're doing, you're telling a story. So, my uncle, he's like 9 years older than me, so he's like a big brother kind of. So, he was always listening to music, whether it be, early Jay-Z, Big, Pac, Tribe Called Quest, Nas, whatever. And so I would always, listen to his stuff. I looked up to him, so he kind of got me into it. It was always music in my household. It was always music being played. I grew up in the church. My mom was in the choir. I would go to choir practice, choir rehearsal. I would go to choir rehearsal with her. So I was always around music. It was just everything. All parts of my life was music.
So coming to Dallas, was it hard to like find the music scene?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was hard to find it. It was hard to get adjusted to it. Cause at that time, you know, Dallas music scene wasn't what it is now, you know, before, you know. So I come here, you know, I hear about Tom and Tuck, Chief and Mr. Pookie and Lucci. I hear about them dudes, you know, and then later on, you know, you start hearing more of the game and stuff like that, and how these guys are coming up. So I didn't know the scene too much. I didn't know too much about the boogie too much when I first got here. You know, I learned it, you know, because back then, you know, you boogie. I didn't know what that was. That was crazy to me, and I figured it out though. I did.
So a lot of people that's from Dallas, they say that Dallas don't support Dallas, right? And a lot of people I feel like that's from the outside of Dallas, they say that they see the camaraderie that Dallas has, because where they from, the music scene is way more dead compared to what we got. So just from, even though you've been here now majority of your life, right? Mm-hmm. Do you ever go back and visit Portland?
Not as much as I used to.
It's like, do you know of any type of music scene in Portland?
Yeah, I do.
So, what do you think? I just want to know from somebody that's not from here, like how they feel about the Dallas music scene now, today. When people say support, and that's one thing that I want to say is that you got to, first of all, you got to give the audience something to support. You know what I mean? If your music is trash, then they not gonna support you. And that's just what it is. Dallas has a good ear for music. Okay, so it's not like they just, oh, I'm not gonna support you and stuff like that. Dallas has a good ear for music. I think that in the city there are people that have their preferences like everybody else. I think Dallas sometimes has a small mindedness and closed mindedness to other things, but I think the support is there. I mean, we got open mic stuff, and if you're an artist that fuck with the people gonna fuck with you back. If you give them something good to listen to, and you being true to yourself, and and they know that, then they gonna see that. So when did you drop your first album?
First album, 2018, Unapologetic Legacy.
And what would you say the difference between that album is, the album process, making the album, and the process of making your new album?
Well, one of the biggest differences is between then and now is that I got a son that's a baby, so I took up a lot of time and things like that. I guess my perspective is different on life. I've gotten older. I've learned more about music and the business side of things. But as far as the music goes itself, I think that I've taken my time and really invested more into my lyrics and putting more thought into it, more process into it. I've gotten better beats. I've taken, I've invested more time into the production side of it, the post-production side of it, the mixing, the mastering. I got a list, so it's like using the de-esser, and try to control my tongue more and things like that while recording. Just those things like that, just little stuff, make a big difference. So if you heard Unapologetic Legacy and then you hear the RoseStar album, they sound totally different from each other.
Do you think that the rollout, was it harder to do more things back then than it is now? I mean, even though 2018 was just about 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
As in like harder to do what? What do you mean?
Because at one point, it was kind of hard like get in the studio, get video shot. You have to pay way more. It's like now it's like more studios available. Home studios.
Okay.
Everybody got a camera now.
Yeah, it's. I mean, everything is easier. I mean, like you said, everybody got a camera. Everybody got a studio. You can, the internet makes the world smaller. So, there's apps and things like that. You can easily just hit somebody up and say, hey, I need some graphics done. Go on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Hey, who does graphics? Who does mixing and mastering? You can go to YouTube and find stuff how to do stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think that things are easier because people are doing it a lot more and things are more saturated. So you can find stuff easier.
So let's talk about the new album.
Let's talk about it.
All right, what's the general message behind this album?
The general message behind, the RoseStar album is, once again, I took, the name comes from RoseStar. Portland is the city of roses. And obviously, being in Dallas, Texas, it's the Lone Star State. So, RoseStar. What I want people to get from this is just, more of me. My last album was called Chris, which is my government name. And then I took that and then I'm just kind of just going, I guess, deeper into it. I'm trying to be more vulnerable and more transparent in my music. I wanted to have a little bit more fun, with this one and be a little bit more lighthearted. Because the Chris album, it was a long one. It's 24 songs. It was a long one, double-sided, and this one I just wanted to do, something, I guess shorter, and just be more, more lighthearted. Have a lot more fun with it.
So in a time where everybody is doing EPs, what makes you continue to drop full length projects and not like 7 songs and 8 songs?
Well, I mean, I do every now and again, but it's just I record so much music, man, and it's like I don't like hoarding music, and I feel that the best way to tell the story is to put it, all together and put an album together. That to me, that's the best way of telling the story. That's what music is it's storytelling if you do it in the right way. And so to me, 6 songs, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs, I don't think is enough to tell the story, unless it's a short story. But tell the story that I want to tell, I got to do it in 15, 18 songs,
So after this project, what stands out the most to you? What song?
All of them, but
if a person that's listening to this interview right now, watching this interview, they never heard of you, this their first time seeing you, this their first time to check your album out, which song do you tell them to listen to first?
Oh man, the intro, people seem to like that one. People have heard it. Introspective probably, and that features Mandy. She's from Dallas. If you know her, she can sing. She can sing. But it's produced by Poetic Killer. He's out in Boston, and it sets the tone, for the entire project. So I think that one is a good one. We got a video to that coming soon. A video for that's coming soon. So I think that one would be one that would definitely just stick out. It definitely goes into me. It's called Introspective, so it's it's into me.
So what made you how did you link up with Mandy?
Well, college really, but her sister, I know her, and then just through social media and stuff like that, and just a love for music, and that's pretty much it. I'll see her on social media performing, and she sees what I do, musically and stuff like that. And it was kind of just a mutual respect for one another. And so that's how we did it. I said, hey, I got this song, I want you on. She said, okay, let me know. I said, it's not written yet, but I got the beat for it. And so I just sat down and I wrote it, with her in mind and what I wanted to say, and come across in the song. I just wrote it, and about 15 minutes later, I said, "Hey, I got it." She heard it, and I recorded it, and she heard it, and she's like, "Okay." And she came and she put some church on it, and then boom, there we go.
Yeah, I like that. I like that record. That's one of my favorite records for sure.
Yeah.
So man, growing up in Portland and moving to Dallas,
Right.
and being in Oak Cliff and seeing all of this shit that's going on, all of this wild shit, what made you decide to make your music more like pro-black and positive?
Well, I mean, let me clarify some things real quick. I didn't grow up in Oak Cliff. I was just in Oak Cliff for a little bit. I really was from the north, Skillman to Delia. But I mean, it's still wild and crazy there too. But no, I mean, it's just I grew up in a household, it's full of love. Obviously, black people was there. My mama, my grandma, stuff like that, my uncles. So I grew up around love, and I always thought that like stuff for us, being black men and black women, it was never fair. And I always wanted more. I always wanted to research things. I always wanted just to know more. And as I got to a point to where I really started seeing things being unfair and things like that, then that's kind of where it, got to me. There's been some things about me in my life that I really haven't fully divulged into, and I may later on in some music and things like that, that has been treated unfairly to me, which is one reason why I came down here, came to Texas. But to me, it's important. It's important. I like to make music to have people think. I like to make music where I like to make music to have people think. I like to make music where, people understand where you're coming from. It's not always about, shaking ass and shooting niggas and selling dope and stuff, which is, that's part of life. But, I got kids, man. Yeah. I want them to be like, hear some stuff that's like, okay, I'm a king, I'm a queen. And that's what I like to do. I'm gonna talk about some shit, but for the most part, that's what I like to do.
So coming up in this game in Dallas, in this rap game, who have you worked with, like some prominent names? Name a couple people you've worked with.
It'd be an easier question to think about who I haven't worked with in Dallas. Man, I think I work with everybody.
Who are the most the standout people to you that you was glad you was able to work with, or that you just wanted to work with and finally got the chance?
Well, especially Kenny Smith. Rakim Al-Jabbar, Jason Lyric, like I said, Mandy, Nicole Marie, Floetic Desire, my brother Jay Wadis. It's so many people I've worked with. I worked a lot. One person I still want to work with is like, Ty Harris, Bobby Sessions, Seven the Great. Those three guys I want to work with. And I haven't got the opportunity to yet, but I hope so. I can do that.
Okay, so I was hoping you was gonna say C Strugs.
I did work with C Strugs, RIP to the Fat Crip, man.
So how did that come about?
How did that work out?
Yeah, how did that come about? You went to C Strugs. How did you link up with C Strugs?
We linked. How did we link, man? Kids can't remember, honestly. I think I just hit him up on like Facebook or Instagram or something. I hit him up, say, hey, this is who I am. He was like, what's up, little bro? Yeah, I know you already know. So we started chopping it up. Came cool. Like I got this idea. It's called Purple Skies. I took this, Destiny's Child beat, slowed it down. He heard it. He's like, oh yeah, man, I like that. So boom. That was nice, man. And he was somebody I can call on and talk to. I needed advice about stuff, man. And I miss Big Bro, man. Yeah. RP to C Strugs.
Yeah. So it's a legendary guy, man.
Yeah.
So I seen recently you just was on a feature with Big Tuck.
Yeah.
Y'all You just dropped the videos today.
Well, I'm actually a feature. Yeah, me and Big Tucker both features on the song, on somebody else's song.
Yeah.
A song called Bounce. It's by Randy D. James. So that's when they shot that video at DG's, man.
Yeah.
So you already know what's going down.
How was it working with Tucker?
He was cool, man. He wasn't, I didn't work with him personally. I just dealt with the vocals and stuff. But I mean, in communication with him, he was cool. As far as the song goes and stuff like that. So he was cool, getting that work done right there.
Oh, he didn't shoot his shot with y'all while I was together when y'all shot the video?
Oh, you mean for the video? No, man, I couldn't make the video that day. I could not make the video that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the song wise, yeah, man, it was dope. He just said the stuff in, Tuck came in like a freight train, he do things. So he came in, he got his vocals done and boom, sent it to me. And maybe 2 hours. If that. It was quick. So but yeah, he cool dude, man. He's real he real solid brother.
That's cool. So for the people, man, let them know where they can find you, and if you got anything else coming out you want them to know about.
If you go on social media, just type in @IamCJ Watson. You're gonna find me. That's IamCJ Watson. My website, IamCJWatson.com. Just type in IamCJ Watson. You're gonna find me. And shout out, to the whole RED team, and my lovely wife, kids, family, and shout out to Dallas Wall Street. Appreciate y'all having me.